This one, guys, is tough to stomach in so many ways. Steph Curry was brilliant, and the pick and roll in the first half really bothered the Lakers. Just my quick thoughts before I throw it to you guys. I thought Golden State, came out. They started GP2. GP2 threw up in his mouth at one point and had to leave the floor. That was bizarre.
Cost
But
him
it
a
was
possession.
yeah, it was clear that the Kerr wanted to run more. He wanted to get out and move a little bit. Lakers were up 22-21 at the end of the first quarter. Golden State led 52-49 at half. The Golden State pick and roll on offense really worked to Golden State's advantage, as Curry had 15 points and 7 assists off that pick and roll with about a minute left to go in the second quarter. And then the third quarter starts, and Lakers immediately go on a 10-0 run. Then Curry just had an amazing sequence where he found GP2 a couple times inside for bunnies. He found him in the corner for a three. He drew an offensive foul on Vanderbilt. Warriors went on an 11-0 run, and they were up 68-59. But LA would fight back. Poole had a key turnover. DiVincenzo had a key turnover. This is third quarter now. Looney missed 2 free throws in a key sequence late in the third quarter. And at the end of the third quarter, Warriors were still up 7. It was 84-77 going to the fourth. And then Lonnie Walker took this thing over. And Lonnie Walker, who hadn't scored a single point in the first 3 quarters, had 15 points in the fourth quarter. He was fantastic. Rough night for Steph Curry from 3, but I won't blame Steph at all. Steph had a miraculous game, 31, 10 rebounds, 14 dimes for Steph. AD didn't even do much in the second half, but to me, there were some sequences, guys, in the second half in the fourth quarter, I should say. Draymond Green, I thought that was an awful offensive foul call. I thought it was a bad call by the refs. Clay missed a super deep 3-pointer late in the fourth quarter. Then he rushed another 3-pointer. This was after he hit a corner 3, but Clay wasn't shooting it well. And to me, those were 2 horrendous threes. Draymond Green had a terrible turnover at the end there on a pass to Wiggins. And Curry eventually threw it out of bounds for a turnover at the end. And the Warriors wind up losing 104-101. And just a couple thoughts before you guys all jump in and we start throwing it around here. But Golden State was plus 18 at the 3-point line. Plus LA, they held their own on the glass. They were only -2 to LA on the glass. Golden State was +3 on the break, 17-14. Golden State was +6 points in the paint, 52-46. But they got absolutely 0 from Jordan Poole, who's got to go. 10 minutes, 0 for 4, 0 for 2 on threes, 3 rebounds, 2 assists. He was a total 0. Klay Thompson was bad. 3 of 11 on field goals in 41 minutes. Draymond Green nearly had a triple-double, 8 points, 10 rebounds, 7 assists, but 5 freaking turnovers for Green. And the Warriors are 1 win away from the end. So to me, a couple things stand out. One, Poole was just atrocious. Klay Thompson had those 2 late threes were just terrible shots. One was a super deep 3.
That one, the shot clock, it was down to about 4 seconds. I think he thought
4 seconds is a lot of time. You don't need to shoot the ball that from that far. The other one was the Curry turnover where he had Curry missed a long 3-pointer in a 1-point game. It was a 1-point game, and there was like 20 seconds left, and he takes a deep 3 with Anthony Davis on him. It's a 1-point game. I mean, drive in. Don't take a deep 3. I thought that just either signified Steph's fatigue or his lack of focus. But, I mean, you don't even need a 2. You're down 1, and he took a super deep 3 when he's being guarded by Anthony Davis, and he could have taken him off the dribble. There was all kinds of room to his right. just not a good finish for Golden State. I mean, what can you guys say? Jump in. Anybody who wants to go, feel free. But just a bitter one for Golden State because they played well in a lot of phases. A lot of things went right. They did a lot of things that I'm sure they wanted to do. But man, Steph Curry cannot do it by himself. And where was Poole? Where was Clay? Where was Draymond? Where was Wiggins at times? He had some bad turnovers in this thing. I felt like the surrounding cast kind of let him down. Looney has been a non-factor this round. Just a rough one for Golden State. And are they done? No, but they got to win 5 at home, 6 on the road, and 7 at home to finish off the Lakers. We'll see if they can do it.
Yeah,
Wednesday night.
29% from the three is not going to get it done. And then Lakers were 20 for 20. They didn't miss a free throw. That was had they missed just 3 of them. 85%. They as a team, it would have been tied up, but they made every one. Warriors were only 9 of 12. I thought the key change, obviously Lonnie Walker in the fourth, but putting LeBron at the point, taking over, and then putting every play, they put a switch on Steph, and they didn't even help him out. They just let LeBron go one-on-one with Steph, and he's not going to be able to guard him and stop him taking it all the way to the hoop. But there was that. And then obviously, you mentioned, Larry, the 3-point shot that Steph took at the end. The other thing that I thought was really a critical mistake, and I don't know why Steph doesn't do this, but someone like LeBron, I believe, would have called a timeout when you're on the floor with the ball. Call timeout. Don't let go of the ball. You still had 3.5 seconds to go in the game. If he would have called a quick, the ref was right there. Just yell timeout. You got possession. I don't know why players don't think like that more often.
I think it comes down to poise. I think they lost their poise at the end. And when Draymond got that rebound with a couple seconds left, he literally had Schroeder on his left, and he was 2 feet from the basket. Why not just turn around and go up? They're so afraid of Anthony Davis.
Oh, Green when he got that
Draymond.
rebound?
He was right there, right underneath the basket.
I know.
And they're so afraid of AD. AD wasn't even in the picture. He was 6-7 feet away, but they're so afraid that he popped it back out right underneath the basket. They lost their poise, I think. Yep. And Steph just gave it away, lost his poise. I really thought Clay's shot was rushed. Clay's a really good shooter when he gets his feet set. When his feet aren't set and he rushes his shots, he'll admit this. When he rushes his shots, he just doesn't have the same shot. And that shot with 10 seconds left on the shot clock was just atrocious, in my opinion.
Out there by the bench. Yeah.
Well, here's one of the challenges, though, Sean. Klay Thompson tonight took 11 shots.
Mm-hmm.
He did not go to the foul line, so he didn't miss any shots because he got fouled on a shot. Clearly, that tells you 2 things. Number one, the Laker defense was set up. Let's take away easy looks by Klay, and the fact that they see that the Warriors are not going to play Looney and Draymond together, that takes away your second best screener. They called Dre for a couple of offensive foul setting screens, one of which was on a Klay trade tonight that he hit. Another one was on one that he actually missed. The challenge is you have to give credit to the defense for what they're taking away. Steph Curry took 30 shots tonight, and he went to the foul line 4 times. Klay Thompson only took 11 shots. Their second leading shooter was Wiggins in terms of volume. He took 14. And then they were giving up things to Gary Payton. They were willing to give up things to Draymond Green, but they clearly in their game plan said, we have to take away easy looks by Klay. They did that.
Mm-hmm.
People will say trash, but trash is only relevant if something is real. When you're late in the game and you need a 3 and you don't have the opportunity to create off the dribble, that's the only shot you're going to take. And unfortunately, the Warriors put themselves in that position by only scoring 17 points in the fourth quarter. And they had Lonnie Walker, who scored 15.
They stopped going to the basket. The Warriors stopped going to the basket, running the high pick and roll. They just stopped. The entire offense in the fourth was Steph running around.
Well, they stopped scoring in the paint in the fourth.
Yeah, they stopped scoring in the paint.
Yeah, they took out Gary Payton. And they had to go with Moody because they needed another defender, because the Lakers turned their game tonight and a little bit last game into a 1980s, 1990s offensive style. Let's find a matchup we like. Let's force a switch, and let's make them have to play out of that with a smaller lineup. They just took advantage of their size and their physicality. So to me, this was just advantage Lakers with making certain decisions. I thought the Lonnie Walker sub sounds nice, but the reality is they had no clue if he was going to get hot. He happened to do it, and he'll be remembered forever for doing it.
This reminds me of the first Warriors title run when they were down 3-1 against OKC. And I thought
that was actually the 73-9 season.
Oh, okay. Well, whatever it was, they were up. They were down 3-1.
Right.
And
I'd say the same thing.
And I thought they were done, and they were not done. And if you're a player or a coach, you actually feel inspired by tonight's game. This is a tough game for fans, because you're looking at the game from a fan's perspective. But from a player's perspective, you know that you lost the game by a play or two.
Right.
There was not a colossal number of errors that the Warriors made. These are all professional players giving everything that they have. Listen, if you look at Klay Thompson for what he is, this guy has had 2 major knee, foot injuries. Most guys would be playing in the Philippines right now. He gets tired, and Klay has a little hero ball in him. And Kerr knows that. But he got 4 rings. So you give him that and you say, Klay, you know what? Learn from this situation. The reason why Steph Curry took that last shot is because he's tired. Right. Steph Curry actually reminds me of, not on this level, but those horses that are dying at the Kentucky Derby. This guy is playing big minutes, and his touch ratio, his usage ratio is to the moon right now. So only thing that the Warriors need to do is get some rest, keep a positive mentality, come out and put their foot on the gas on Wednesday night and win 1 game.
Yep.
And then execute down the stretch in game 6. Now, here's the key. I never thought the Warriors could win a championship without a contribution from Jordan Poole, and I still don't. Lonnie Walker was the antithesis of Jordan Poole. He kept his mouth shut. He was pissed off because he knew he should be playing, but he didn't say anything. He was a total team guy. And when he got his opportunity, he showed up. Jordan Poole has not. It is disrespectful to expect Stephen Curry, Klay Thompson, Draymond Green to be supermen at this stage of their career without these young guys. This is why Steve Kerr said, you know what? Forget about analytics. Moses, get out there and play your butt off. And guess what happened? The guy played tremendous basketball. So I am not worried at all. We can talk about the particulars of what took place tonight, but this was a beautiful basketball game that came down to a play or two. And if I'm a Golden State Warrior fan, you should be smiling and ready to cheer your team on, because I think you're going to win game 5?
Yeah, I'm in agreement with you, Frank. I was going to say the same thing earlier on, is that they just win. It is like OKC that year. Win game 5. You needed 1. You gave up home court advantage after game 1. So you need 1 of 3 in LA. They didn't get the first 2, but they can win game 5. And I believe tonight showed you that you can go down there with your backs to the wall, and that's when the Warriors play their best, and win game 6. And
tonight, they lost tonight, Dan.
Right. I know that. But I'm saying they could win game 5.
So tonight showed that they could win. They lost.
Yeah, but it showed they're in the game. It was down to 1 play, really. I mean, if Curry hits that last shot,
I mean, Curry had an all-time great game, triple-double, and they still lost. They're not beating this Laker team at this point. They can't do it without help, and they've eliminated too many guys. They're getting 0 from Clay. They're getting 0 from
championship
Poole.
team.
No Kuminga.
I don't think you can say a championship team is dead. I really don't.
Well, that's fine, but they're. I also am not going to sit here and pretend that the same team that built this 3-1 lead can't win 1 more. They obviously can win 1 more. It's a bad matchup. Looney's been 0. Kuminga's literally 0. Poole's 0. You got too many zeros. You get too many guys not doing it.
Can I ask you this, Larry?
Everybody's going to suddenly flip a switch and start playing great?
No. Here's a question for you. End of the third quarter, Steph misses a deep shot to try to put them up 10. They go up 7. What did you think was going to happen in the fourth quarter?
I thought it was going to get tight.
I thought the Warriors were going to win this game the whole way through. I really did. I thought this was their game to win. It just felt like their game to win. I thought LA looked gassed. LA's, LeBron looked sore. I wasn't anticipating, LA being able to put 15 on the board from Lonnie Walker. So yeah, I mean, I thought Golden State had a very good chance going to the fourth, but they.
Let me ask you this: if I asked you before the game, who did you think was going to score 15 in the fourth quarter? Jordan Poole or Lonnie Walker the fifth?
I would have said Lonnie Walker the fifth.
So yeah, no one else would have, because Lonnie Walker had done nothing to date in this series outside of playing in garbage time and having some fun to prove to you that he was going to be the go-to guy in the fourth quarter of a game that the Lakers clearly wanted badly at home.
That's true, but I'll counter with Jordan Poole has shown nothing that makes me think he was going to take this thing over.
Correct.
He's playing horribly.
Except that Jordan Poole averages 20 and had made over 200 threes this season.
That doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
That doesn't matter at all.
None of that matters.
It's a different season. We're in the playoffs, and to me, he's fragile. He's
been atrocious both series.
We're not discounting that, Sean. Here's what I'm saying. You know what he's capable of. I don't think you thought Lonnie Walker was capable of carrying the Lakers in a fourth quarter. He did it. Jordan Poole did not. Advantage Lakers. It's on to game 5, because that's the only thing you can focus on right now if you're Golden State. You came up with some good things to attack Anthony Davis and pick and roll. You found some ways to create some lane scoring, which was something important. You got no open looks out of JaMychal Green, and he got 2 quality open looks. You didn't get enough out of Clay because he's not getting open shots. If you don't give a shooter open shots, it's tougher for them to make tough shots.
When he gets tired of Foss, he's not as good a shooter.
Of course not. Hey, neither are we.
Well, that's my point. My point is, yes, you can talk about shot selection, but you can also have to, kind of accept this is where he is at this stage of his career. He is a lot more inconsistent now than he was 3-4 years ago. And that's okay. You know why? Because look what they did defensively. The Lakers didn't do jack. I mean, they shot 25% from the from the 3-point line. Lonnie Walker, he had a moment. Give him credit. Most of those shots were contested. If those shots were wide open, I would say, you know what, the Warriors should even show up on Wednesday. But they're ready to play, man. I saw that in those guys. They were ready to compete. I thought Kerr coached his ass off. Well, whether or not it was his assistants or him, I can think of countless things that he did tonight to put his team in a position to win a game. In Los Angeles, on the road, with everything else there, the Warriors right there. But I knew it was going to be tight. I don't care if it was Lonnie Walker, whomever. This game was going to be tight because the Lakers needed to win this game. So it was up for grabs. Came down to a play or two.